Okay, WWE Payback 2023 review. My review. Uh, I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm late to doing this. I've said this for my last few reviews. Let's just get into it now. First match: Becky Lynch v Trish Stratus. I don't know if anyone else felt like this, but I kind of when I think it was either at the start of the match or like during the match, I kind of felt like the match was. I don't know. It just reminded me a bit of Becky v Sasha Banks in Hell in a Cell 2019. But I don't know when I as soon as I had that thought, I was just like, you know what, this match probably going to be a good match because Becky in a cage or in a cell is typically a good match. And I'm just basing it off that one Hell in a Cell match I saw back in 2019. But you know what, I'm rating this 8.5 out of 10 because it was a very solid match. Yeah, it was. Honestly, it's kind of like it's kind of the similar. I feel a similar way to how I felt in Night of Champions, where I didn't expect too much from this match, but it delivered, and I was okay with it. Similar in this situation. I wasn't. It was like it was the opening match. I wasn't really expecting too much from it, but it delivered. So yeah, 8.5. I think this should be the. Actually, thinking about it, I think this is the end of the feud. I thought it would actually end in Hell in a Cell, but I guess maybe to add suspense, that's why they made it a steel cage, since you can escape, you can win by escaping the cage. So to add suspense, it would make more sense. That rhymes. I didn't even mean to rhyme. But yeah, 8.5. It was a good match, despite Becky kind of spamming her finishes at the end on Zoe Stark and Trish. It was still a solid match. Trish actually looked. I don't know. Trish, I guess in recent matches has been a bit shaky, but this match she actually looked decent. And yeah, 8.5. This feud should be over now. Zoe's also turned on Trish, or well, I guess I say turned. Trish kind of just they kind of fight, and then Zoe used to finish her. So yeah, they shouldn't be together anymore. But who knows? Maybe that there's a 1% chance here, but I'm pretty sure that's done and dusted. And Becky's going to go for the NXT title from the look of it now, which is the only title she has never won. I mean, I guess technically she's never won the NXT tag titles, but I don't really count them. But yeah, so let's see if she can finally become a Grand Slam champion. It's funny as well because I think I don't know. It was probably a few weeks ago. I was on Twitter. I was just like, I know someone said like, "Oh, Becky's won everything in WWE," and I was just like, "Oh, but she hasn't won the Money in the Bank or the NXT title yet." So I just find it funny how literally a few weeks later I think she's going to have an NXT title match. Honestly, I think this is the year of people getting Grand Slams. Like Kevin Owens got his Grand Slam. Rhea Ripley got her Grand Slam, and someone else got their Grand Slam, which I'll get on to later in the video. All right, second match: LA Knight v The Miz. Like, if I'm being honest, let me start with the rating. I gave it a 7 out of 10. It with John Cena as a special guest referee as well. It's. I don't think I'll give it anything higher than a 7. It was. I don't know. Miz When the Miz does a match, I think there's been a few matches of the Miz I've seen that's been like, yeah, you know what? Is the Miz is he's all right. He's showing a bit more, but I don't know, if you're in the ring with the Miz, then I don't really expect to see an amazing match. Maybe I think the Miz's style is just not my liking, and this is also my opinion as well, so I can free to say what I want. But yeah, it wasn't a bad match. John Cena, I actually like the fact that John Cena was actually an impartial ref, so that you didn't know which way the match would go. I mean, at the same time, you kind of did, because the Miz was literally when Miz tried to use the ropes to get the pin, and John Cena literally kicks his hand away. It's like, yeah, he's not having any of that. So, for the most part, Cena was impartial, and yeah, it was a decent match. LA Knight got the win, so I think honestly the Miz was literally the gatekeeper. I see Miz as a gatekeeper for a superstar with big opportunities. And if you beat the Miz, then you're gonna have like better and bigger opportunities. And because LA Knight's done that now, he can move on to focus on bigger and better stuff. Not to put down the Miz, but the Miz doesn't really have anything else to do other than just to help grow better talent. So I don't say that. I don't mean to say that in a mean way. It's just that's the role of the Miz now. But yeah, 7 out of 10, decent, but I'm not giving it anything higher because I was invested in it, but I wasn't that interested in it. no, the match it wasn't that interesting to me, but it was still decent. So 7 out of 10. All right, third match: Rey Mysterio, my favorite wrestler ever, v Austin Theory. What am I gonna give it? 6.5 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie. Let me talk about the positives, and then I'll talk about what they could have done to improve. So the positives, which the only one I can think of was right at the end when I think it was when Mysterio did the 619, then the springboard splash onto Theory, but then Theory countered, and then that transition quickly into his, well, when he was about to look for a turn down, but then Mysterio countered into a leverage pin and got the win. That was a nice counter, and that I really liked how smooth that was. Like, I don't know, that was just satisfying to watch. Other than that, though, I don't think that match was pay-per-view worthy. That match wasn't not pay-per-view worthy. Do you know what they should have done? If anything, they should have. I would have actually been, in hindsight, they should have prolonged Santos Escobar v Austin Theory for Payback, so that Theory injured Escobar at Payback. Then Mysterio took his place, and then Theory dropped the title to Mysterio at Payback. That would have been more sense, and that would have been, in terms of story-wise, that would have been a lot more pay-per-view worthy, because this was just a rematch, and because Theory already had a very long reign. I remember he also, I think when he just won the US title back at Survivor Series, he recently gained it back after he lost it at Money in the Bank, which wasn't too. The months weren't too far apart, but yeah, I kind of knew as soon as he lost it again, he's not going to get it back again. So yeah, I think they should have prolonged the Santos Theory thing, but it's cool, because I think there will be, because Rey's got the US title, I think there's going to be so I think this is what's going to drive a wedge between Rey and Santos. Like, Theory and Grayson will have said something like this, but they're just like, oh no, we're fine, we're fine. But probably Survivor Series, maybe Rumble time. No, probably it's gonna be earlier than that. Yeah, Rey's gonna break away from the LW. Well, I say Rey's gonna break away. Thing. Legado del Fantasma is going to turn on Rey. So Zelina, I don't know what's gonna happen to her. I think she will turn as well, which I'll actually be happy to see, because I don't know. I'm just not used to her seeing as a face, because I'm so used to her seeing as a heel with Andrade and like other stuff. But to see her as a face is just a bit. I don't know. I'm just so used to seeing her as a heel that it's weird to see her as anything else, because I've seen her for so long. But yeah, 6.5 out of 10. It was. I don't think it was pay-per-view worthy, but it was an okay match, I guess. One thing, one positive I will say is, because ever since, I'm glad that Rey's actually held the US title for a decent amount of time now. It hasn't even been that long, but it's been longer than his last two reigns. His first reign, literally, Samoa Joe injured him after he won it, and then he had to relinquish it back to him somehow. And then the second one, he lost it to Andrade at a house show. So, and literally, it was when I was actually looking forward to that reign, but. Yeah, but I think I know that's what Rey's doing. Like, he's a Hall of Famer now. He doesn't really need to prove anything. He's just gonna go over to other people. But at the same time, I do want to see. I don't want, if you're old, I don't want to just see you lose. Like, in terms of the Miz, I feel like that's his role, because Miz has been doing that for quite a while now. But Rey, I feel like he's been in more high profile matches, so I think surely he should get a chance. I mean, he's a champion now, so that's a good start, but I want to see him have at least a good reign, or at least a good story, even if his reign is short. Because I feel like his last two US title reigns weren't that good. So hopefully this one should be great. Fingers crossed. Okay, fourth match. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens v Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, which I gave a 9 out of 10. I think I was contemplating with giving this a 9.5 or even a 10 out of 10. But I was just like, no, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I think the only real reason why I knocked it off 9.5 and 10 is because I think when KO and Sami gave the promo about I've had enough, so we're going to turn this into a street fight. I don't know. I think it didn't make that much sense to me. Seeing as how they complained about Judgment Day always taking advantage. So they decided to use a match stipulation where they can take advantage and they won't get disqualified. It just didn't make that much sense to me. But match wise, everything was great. Everything was great. I probably need to rewatch it to find something bad about it. But when I watched it the first time, everything was literally, it was a good match. Oh, one more thing I will say is I think because I kind of saw here's the thing. So I went on Insta and I kind of saw spoilers of Finn Balor and Damien. Well, Finn winning the tag titles because I saw someone just show all of Finn's accomplishments, and right at the bottom I saw it said like the tag titles. It's like, oh, he's won. Because I think at first when I went on Insta, I don't know why I don't even follow much wrestling pages, if any. I think I watched one video and then it just pops up on my search page. But still, that's sorry for another day. But yeah, anyway, I think I would have been more excited to watch that match if I didn't see any spoilers. But because I did, maybe that could be the reason why I'm rating it 9 out of 10. So I might bump it up to 9, but I'll stick with 9 for now. But honestly, it was a solid match. Literally, Judgment Day literally did everything in their power to win the titles. And then once again, the ending of the match where Sammy looks for his finisher, but then Dominic used Money in the Bank briefcase to give Finn the win. It literally just that briefcase has been the deciding factor in Judgment Day, and I actually really like to see that. So I'm which what makes me happy, that Damian Priest has won it, because if LA can't say his name right, if LA Knight did actually win the Money in the Bank briefcase, I feel like he probably would have already cashed in, or I don't think it would be that interesting. Maybe it could have, but I don't compare. But with Damian Priest now, I think because he's a heel as well, it just works, because it's like it just adds more heat to him as well. Considering they wanted LA Knight to win, and now he's got the briefcase, and now there's dissension, and yeah, it just works. So that's why I'm happy. I'm really not upset that Damian Priest is holding Money in the Bank. But yeah, decent match, 9 out of 10. Yeah, I'm probably gonna leave it at 9 out of 10. Cannot complain. Alright, this wasn't a match, but this was just the Cody v Grayson Waller segment where Cody announced Jey Uso coming back to Raw, which I'm not going to really give it a rating because it wasn't a match. In terms of the segment though, it was alright. I like Grayson, how Grayson acts. I like Grayson's heel work. But I feel like it was just filler at the same time. Cody didn't need to be there, but I guess he was just there because Cody, big pop, but I feel like it would have been better if Jey just appeared and he himself say, I'm now on the Raw roster. I think that would have been more I guess it was surprising, but I guess I would have been more. It would have been better, I feel, if Jey Uso himself announced he showed up on Raw. Let's say Judgment Day was attacking someone. He showed up saying, I'm now the newest person on the Raw roster. But yeah, we're talking about Raw. I'm recording this on Wednesday. This video on Wednesday, so I've yet to see the Raw after Payback, which I will see. So a lot of stuff would have happened. I have seen one thing though. I have seen that because Jey got transferred to Raw, someone from Raw is going to get transferred to SmackDown. I don't know who. Apparently, the person that posted that said, it's pretty obvious, but I don't know who. So you're probably gonna have to tell me in the comments. Or what? By the time I edit the video, I'll probably find out who it is after I watch Raw. But yeah, the segment was decent, but I feel like it wasn't really needed. That's all I'll say on that. Okay, 5th match. Rhea Ripley v Raquel Rodriguez. I was about to say Gonzalez, literally because Corey accidentally said it. But I think he just, I don't know, Gonzalez, because I've heard Gonzalez first, it just stuck in my head. So even when I hear Rodriguez, it just sounds a bit weird to me. But Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, it was a great match. It was a great match. I gave it 8 out of 10, so slightly lower than the tag team Pittsburgh street fight. But it was good. It was good. I guess it wasn't, because I like high fly matches. It wasn't, I guess, my type of match to say, I love this match. But I will admit when I see a good match, regardless of what type of match it is, and I'll say that match is good. But maybe if I like my favorite type of wrestlers to watch were a powerhouse, maybe I'll rate it higher. Who knows? But I'm gonna stick with 8 or maybe even 8.5. I'll stick with 8. Just like round numbers. Whole numbers, I should say. But decent match. with Dominic, the match was solid. The ending was a bit. Dominic interfered. Raquel took advantage. I think I did like the tribute where she did a running power slam because it was meant to be for Strowman, so it was a nice tribute. But yeah, it was just a typical when like when a heel can't really get the job done or struggling to get the job done, like one of her like tag partner or friend comes to assist her, then they get beaten up and then their opponent just takes advantage and yeah. But the start just before the end was very good. Like that's why I'm happy to leave it as a 8 out of 10. It was a very good match. All right, sixth and final match on the cards, and I'm just saying this. I'm saying this because I'm pretty sure there wasn't any matches on the pre-show, and if there was, then I'll probably maybe give it. I'll probably review that another day because I did not watch the pre-show. I haven't watched the pre-show in ages now. I only watch the only time I watch the pre-show is when I'm a bit early to watch the main show, so I'll see the last 5 minutes of it. But I don't watch the pre-show anymore. But a sixth match, Seth freaking Rollins v Shinsuke Nakamura. I rated it a 9 out of 10 as well. So yeah, it was literally I think this is one of the situations again where here's the thing though. I actually like Steph's wrestling style. Nakamura's one is a bit I think it just depends who his opponent is. Because it was with Seth, I liked him. I liked how he wrestled more now, especially that what was it, landslides that what Avalanche Michinoku driver they delivered. I think they called it landslide. It was either land or mudslide. I think it was landslide though. But yeah, I really like that move. Okay, so I'm back. Yeah, I just had to quickly stop and start recording. I'm recording this like 48 hours later, give or take. But besides the point, let's get back to the sixth and final match. That we remember to look at the camera as well. So yeah, Seth Rollins v Nakamura. I think I said I gave it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I don't know. I think I think Nakamura's style. I don't know. I don't think I don't. I think it just depends on the person whether I like strong style wrestling or not. I think that match that Seth and Nakamura was strong style somewhat. I don't know. I just think I like some. There's some Nakamura matches I like, and some things in his moveset that I like. Other things that it's just like, yeah, all right. He's a hard hitter. He's like you wouldn't call him a brawler, I don't think. But then again, you would because of some of his moves. But yeah. Anyway, that match. Anyway, let me talk about the match actually now. Rather than Nakamura. Similar to the what was it, I think Rhea and Raquel match. I gave it a high rating because it was a good match in general. But I guess it wasn't personally like 10 out of 10 worthy for me. But 9 out of 10 is still good. I guess maybe I think why I rated it a 9 as well is because I guess because we knew that like this whole storyline has just been about Seth's back injury, so we were kind of expecting that to happen. It was just a matter of when, and when it did happen, it was just like, oh yeah, well Seth's gonna be hurt now after this move, or Seth's gonna be hurt now after this move, or if Seth delivers this, he's gonna feel it here. So it was a bit predictable in that aspect compared to like his match with AJ Styles, because that was anyone's game. But yeah, other than that, great pacing, great display of moves. Like I said, the Avalanche Chinook driver. It's a smart ending as well. The way actually I forgot the ending now. But I just remember, I think Nakamura wanted to look for a Kinshasa. I think Seth dodged. And then Steph, I think they were literally trying to look for their movesets. And yeah, it was just Seth, it just ended with Nakamura, I think, missing a move and then Seth countering with Curb Stomp, getting the 1-2-3 and getting the win. So yeah, 9 out of 10, cannot complain. And yeah, I'm happy with that match as a main event because it delivered. Apart from literally, I guess, the Cody v Grayson Waller section, despite it not being bad, I feel like it was more filler than good though. And the Ray and Austin Theory match, Payback was actually a very good pay-per-view. It didn't disappoint. Was it the best pay-per-view of all time? Probably not. I'll probably say one of the NXT ones back in 2019 or 2020 was the best one, but that I've watched. But honestly, it was a good pay-per-view, so I really can't complain about it. It's overall, I'll probably give it a 8.5 out of 10, because the matches and most matches and things delivered. So yeah, I can't complain. I think what Triple H is doing, where he's like cutting down the, like, let's say if this was 3 years ago with Vince, he'll probably put like at least 3 more matches on this card, and some will be like 8 minutes, some will be 4 minutes, and then it just that would be filler. But what Triple H is doing, like, there's still, despite like, while I'm admitting there's still filler, I think the matches are more like are much higher quality, and that's what we should see going forward in pay-per-views. Like, yeah, it's just higher quality. Anyway, the next pay-per-view is Fastlane. I think the only match, this either is a prediction, or the only match I've seen was the Chad Gable v Gunther match. I don't really know too much. To be fair, I don't really know too much about, because I remember Chad Gable and Gunther had another match on Raw. I think Gunther retained, because I think I saw a post saying, "Oh, Gunther just broke the record." So, and to be fair, I kind of expected Gunther to retain. But yeah, and then I saw another post saying Chad Gable v Gunther at Fastlane. I still find it weird how Fastlane is in before Survivor Series. I'm always used to it. I'm always used to seeing Fastlane before WrestleMania. But it's cool. Let's see what Fastlane's going to be like here. I don't think Roman will wrestle at Fastlane. He should wrestle at Survivor Series though, because that's one of the big 4 pay-per-views, or big 5 now if you want to include Money in the Bank. But yeah, overall Payback 8.5 out of 10, and yeah, let me know what you thought of Payback in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave it a like, and I will see you in my next video or WWE review. See you then.